Welcome to another episode of the Bughead Podcast. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
I'm Coin of Coin. Hi.
What's
I'm
up?
tired.
What's up? I'm DJ91X.
Hey, what's up? There's a Sheep.
What up? All right, how's everyone doing today? This is like our first time talking. I've been kicked in the chest by Coin, but I think that's the most interaction I've had from any of you.
Word. My bad.
You're good, dude. So, for those of you who are not aware in the audience, everybody I got in this call is involved with Coin, who is a... Why don't you guys give me a brief overview of what it is exactly you do, all your projects, what they are, and where people can reach them?
I just do Coin, like, musically. I have some other stuff that I work on here and there, but nothing's ready. As well as Coin is not ready, not fully at least. I work with Sheep on some stuff with DeathBySheep whenever they need me, and yeah, that's about it for me.
I'm DJ91X. I'm a DJ, and we recently started working with Coin on some stuff where we doing like a duo thing. It's been pretty cool. I have a couple takes. Say again?
I said it is sick. I finally got the chance to see a Coin set at that P-Sneaky DeathBySheep show that Zach put together.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sick. It was crazy. What you guys do is really, really cool.
You got to see the first one. This was an idea that Sheep came up with a while ago that I finally started to implement, and I was just kind of like, I don't know how I'm gonna execute this actually, and I think we figured it out like that week, which was stupid, but it worked. So if it works, it works.
Yeah,
All
it worked
right.
out pretty good. We went to one of our neighborhood studios, and we practiced it a little bit, and we actually went to
Sounded
Sheep's
like
house,
shit.
practiced a
Sounded
little
like
bit.
shit when we
Yeah.
practiced.
Yeah, at first, but it's pretty dialed in. We still have a few kinks, I'm guessing, on my end,
It's not
but
too
we're working
cute.
it out,
Ultimately.
and I think every time we do it, it gets a little better.
A little cleaner, yeah, for sure.
And then, Sheep, why don't you introduce what it is you do?
I'm really the ideas person. I don't do anything. I run the label, and we have fun.
Hell yeah. For those uninformed in the audience, what exactly is DeathBySheep?
Oh,
I want to interject real quick to say that also Sheep creates all the designs for Death by Sheep, mostly all the covers, and also is the videographer for all the Death by Sheep videos. They put everything together. They do basically everything
man.
themselves.
You
Sheep likes to.
just took Sheep's whole comment.
this isn't even my podcast. Oh man, I'm so embarrassed.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm
saying.
I'm the idea person. I have this mindset that I have have worked on. Death by Sheep is like a project, as much as I believe Coin is an evolving project. I don't know. Again, we're just having ideas. We're experimenting. I believe Coin and I, and now including Andrew 91X, we're thinking on a very similar pace, and we're just really progressing and trying to see what we can make in the future.
Hell yeah. What kind of music is Coin? Because currently you don't have anything released right now, right?
Not a thing.
Not a thing. Nothing's out, but you still seem to have this this following up here in the Northeast, especially New York City, where you're based out of. But even people out here in Massachusetts know who Coin is. So
Really?
yeah,
That's crazy. Damn. We should have did Massachusetts instead of Atlanta.
Yeah, we'll drive all the way back from
Yeah,
Tennessee.
word. Yep.
It ain't that far.
Mhm. Exactly.
So why don't you go into what kind of music and what kind of performance you do? Because the shows are something I think they're pretty unique for the style of music you're playing.
Yeah, thank you. So I don't know. I like various different kinds of music, and I try to blend them all together to give my own take on shit, as most people do. But the idea behind it, and like specifically the performance, and this is also a part of why I've struggled with releasing to a certain extent, to where I really like the idea of it just being like a shot in a bottle. It's something that you see, and if you want to see it again, you can see it again, but it's going to be a pretty similar experience. You won't get it anywhere else. But I'm finding that I need to probably release it eventually so I can get more bookings and so that more people can have that same experience. But mostly the whole coin project is geared towards a live performance where it has like strong breakbeat elements, some like little hip hop elements in it, a lot of noise elements, some gabber moments in it. And as far as a genre would be concerned, I don't know. I don't really know where to place that shit. A lot of people like to think of it as like digital hardcore, and that's probably like the easiest way to describe it. But I think I have a specific like regional sound to that, in the same way that like when digital hardcore started with like Atari Teenage Riot and shit, it was very Berlin centric. They were the only ones fucking doing it. So I like to believe that I am the only one who's doing what I do the way that I do.
Yeah, I feel like it's a culmination of many genres in just a melting pot, all thrown together, and it's really in your face. That's that's what I like about it. It's really in your face. Really, as somebody, you know, who experienced it for the first time, everybody experiences it everybody experiences like one of the sets for the first time, but I think it's a really in your face thing, and you don't really know what's going on. But I feel like, in a sense, that is what brings the audience closer. They want to know. You know what I mean?
Either brings them closer or separates them. They get scared.
Yeah,
And you know
it could
what?
go one
It's
of two
good.
ways.
I'm glad they get scared. I'm happy they get scared.
You definitely have like almost a beat down hardcore element to the live performances where
Sick. Hell yeah.
just getting rowdy is encouraged.
Hmm.
It's in a way that you like I have not seen with other digital hardcore acts where it feels like yes they're trying to bring that hardcore element, but it isn't. It definitely is more digital than it is hardcore, and despite the fact that you don't have any live instrumentation or like a drummer or something, I still get that like want to like run into the pit and cause some havoc while the music's playing.
Sick. Hell yeah. Good.
No
That's
drummer,
it.
no drummer.
No drummer. Fuck drummers. I'm tired of drummers. Drummers are played out. Drummers are fucking dead. They suck. All drummers suck. Even the ones that I like, they all fucking suck.
Damn. No, so
Yeah.
instead you have the DJ element, and I gotta say the scratching and everything it that's some like real DJ work. When did you start getting into DJing and learning how to scratch and stuff like that?
It's something that I think I started maybe at around 12, 13. My uncle was a DJ. I have a few family members who, were DJs, hip hop DJs, in the city back in the days. And, I kind of just sparked off of that. And I'm pretty much self taught, Um,
All
and
taught by
yeah, I mean, that's
Qbert
pretty much it.
DVDs.
Definitely. And, it was a lot of trial and error, trying to figure it out. I destroyed a lot of my uncle's records, messing around and not really understanding how things work, and broke a few needles and stuff. But, we're here, and I learned and I figured it out. But yes, it's
Are you working with actual vinyl?
so I yes and no. So right now with the coin stuff, because it's so hard to get stuff pressed on vinyl, we use control vinyl. Control vinyl is basically like a Serato program where you're using real hardware, but that hardware runs through a computer. So we're able to play all of the coin tracks um, digitally through a piece of control vinyl, if that makes sense.
Also, the
Um,
perks to having a control vinyl versus like something like a DJ controller or something like CDJs or anything like that is that like scratching actually sounds like scratching versus on CDJs or on control vinyl where it's like all emulated scratching. It'll just
mhm.
play a scratch through instead of scrobbling the actual record through, and it gives like a lot of digital artifacts. So I like the idea of using control vinyl over something like a DDJ or a
CDJ,
CDJ.
yeah. I mean, it's I can do it on CDJs, DDJs. It doesn't matter. But honestly, for me, it's more of a feel. Um,
Yeah,
I
that
really,
too.
I really dislike DJing on anything else. You know, I've DJed on the regular stuff, the CDJs and stuff, and it's cool, and I can still rip a set. You know, it doesn't really matter to me. But as for my preference, I prefer the feel. Prefer the feel, the touch. I like the response of a turntable. When I play on CDJs or anything like that, it just feels dead to me. It's not as fun.
And Coin, when did you get into producing and making music on your own?
I've been playing music. Like I got my first guitar when I was like 14. I wanted to learn how to make music since I was like 9 or 10. That was like the first time I ever got FL Studio, but I didn't know how to use it because I was 9. And yeah, I started with guitar truly at 14 and was experimenting with that, and then I started making noise when I was around like 15 or so, and I just kept fucking with that for a while, but I didn't realize there was like a market for it until I was about 19. So my first foray into like public performing or even making music for anyone to consume was when I was 19 making harsh noise and power electronics.
What was everyone here's first kind of foray into their local music scene?
I don't know. I'm. This is a Boston-based podcast.
Uh, yeah, I'm a little bit outside of Boston.
Growing up in the city, like I grew up in the Bronx. I went to high school in the Bronx, but it was one of those things where you knew that really cool shit was just happening in Manhattan. You didn't know where to go, but eventually you'll run into something.
Yeah,
You
that's
knew it was
true.
there though.
Yeah. And movies like Kids existed, and you weren't supposed to follow all the things those kids were doing. But if you wanted to just find locations where other people that were interested in maybe things you were interested, no matter what your subculture was, that being punk, raving, anything in between, it was going into the city and truly someone just inviting me to a gallery and somebody was doing some performance art or someone going, hey, we're going into this bar, my friend's gonna rap in the back. And then someone eventually also took me to the location Palisades, in Bushwick, and that's where I saw like my first death rock band. But that's when I realized there was a community of music in this part of Bushwick. And then I just kept going back for years. Now I live here.
I like went to shows in Williamsburg when I was like 15, 16, just kind of like fucking around and trying to see what was going on. I found the Todd P Metropolis area, not Metropolis, just like Monopoly of Williamsburg, which was basically like six different venue houses on the same block, and I would just kind of cycle through all of those venues as much as I possibly could around that time, or at least the ones that would let me in because some of them were 21 plus. But yeah, the first show I think I went to was it was this band called like PC Worship, and they were terrible. They were awful. But then there was also Gorilla Toss. They were playing that same night, and they were fucking amazing. This was like I think the original lineup minus one member when the dude had the fucking knife in his guitar and shit, and he would cut himself open every single time. That shit was crazy. And yeah, I don't know. I fell in love with the shit, and then I got to see Lightning Bolt, and that completely changed my perspective on everything. Which is funny because at the time I didn't even like Lightning Bolt, but my best friend did, and I thought they were like an AC/DC cover band type thing, and I thought it was gonna be really corny. Um, but I went in and my entire world was blown apart. I didn't know that you could actually do this with music. Like you can make noise, but make it danceable and moshable and shit. I was just like, whoa, that's crazy.
So I'm actually a little bit younger than Coin and Sheep. I was actually I kind of grew up in the Bushwick Bed-Stuy area as a kid. You know, I would always pass like Market Hotel and stuff when, you know, me and my mom had to go to like Knickerbocker or something. And you know, I would see stuff going on outside of there, and I always wonder what the hell is that place? Like, you know, never knew. Then a couple of friends and I started like a rave thing where we, you know, did some shows and stuff, and that was basically my intro. And I ended up playing there, so it was pretty cool to like, you know, get that like
Full circle moment.
yeah, like a full circle moment. And then especially like with Market Hotel, I know I told you guys, but my grandma used to go there. Like that place has been a club forever, you know.
Yeah, back when it was like a
But yeah,
bachata and salsa club and shit.
yeah, it used to be like a salsa club back in the days, and my grandma used to go there, and it was cool. It was like a full circle moment. But yeah, that was pretty much like my introduction.
I didn't know Market Hotel had been around that long.
Say again?
Oh, I just said I didn't know that Market Hotel had been around for so long.
Yeah, since about the '80s. A lot of people don't
Ah,
know that.
it had a
But
different name though. It did have a
but yeah,
different
that was
name.
pretty much like my introduction. You know, like I said, my friends and I we started like a little rave collective thing, and you know, we started doing free shows, and you know, it kind of culminated into okay, we're playing shows now, and you know, I ended up just going into these places and you know finding music. It's really cool.
You're all from New York, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
Ordered raised.
Do you think growing up in a city with so much music history and so much such a large scene was beneficial to starting to make music and starting to get involved in the scene?
For me,
You want
yeah,
to go ahead on that one, Coin?
yeah. For me, yeah. I was always like a pretty. I was a rowdy ass kid, but I was a pretty shutting kid at the same time. And the thing that I gravitated towards most was always music, and I was trying to find new music, and I was trying to like expand upon it and like figure out what you could do with sound. And New York was a hub for that kind of shit. Like everyone went through here, and I understood that from a very young age. So I was always willing to kind of dive deep and see who actually has come here, who's actually made a name here, and like why they've made a name here, and also take small influences and small little production tips from just that general scene, coming from literally like the 50s all the way to the modern era. I'm always looking at
Mhm.
shit.
I think especially being Puerto Rican too.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of Puerto Rican
You know,
music that really does not get the attention that it deserves. Because like I don't know if you understand what like freestyle and the Latin freestyle movement in the city was, but it was essentially like EBM goth music, like Neitzer Ebb or like Front 242 type shit. But imagine if it was like a lot prettier sadder and romantic, but same sort of like hard, aggressive house influenced industrial music.
And breaks.
Yeah, a lot of breaks, a lot of beat breaks. It
Yep.
was, it was,
And I guess growing up in the city, that's the music that we heard. I'm sure for me and Coin, I'm not too sure. Sheep, just growing up hearing that stuff, and that was like mom's cleaning music and stuff. It was
and
always
you
it was always
forget like how hard it sticks with you.
because obviously being from the city, there's the hip hop, of course. But listening to like freestyle as a kid, it's like, oh, this is like different stuff.
It opens up your
It's really
world
cool.
because it is quite literally house music, hip hop music, industrial music, and R&B all at the same
Yeah.
time, and it
Yeah.
all correlates
Once
to
again,
each
it's a
other.
culmination of things. It's a culmination of things that just makes this one like beautiful thing, and it's just a really
Also
cool
disco.
thing.
It also jumps into disco a little bit too.
Do you have some artists from the scene that you want to shout out?
Fuck, like
Freestyle's
Stevie
kind of dead
B.
now.
Yeah, it's dead as fuck. It's dead. Yo, actually, matter of fact, Andrew, I forgot. There's this one girl that Gabby showed me that she's starting to make modern day Latin freestyle music, which I think is fire. I want to link up with that
Yeah,
girl.
freestyle became like a real like I don't know. It kind of like it never died, but they just stopped making the music for some reason. I don't know why, but I guess
One of
times
the
change,
biggest
right?
Latin freestyle artists ended up becoming like a salsa singer, Mark Anthony.
Yeah.
So I think that had a little bit to do with it. But as far as like who's big within that scene back in the day, it was like Lisa, Johnny O, Stevie B, even Raquel, even though she's like white. And
Yeah.
George Lamond. You can't forget George Lamond. Like
Uh,
George Lamond is a
yeah. Oh,
genius.
yeah. I want to also add too that freestyle was kind of a thing that bridged races together back then. Between like Italians and Puerto Ricans.
Yep.
It was kind of like the only thing that at the time they could really agree on, if that makes
Yep.
sense. It's like, oh, we all love this music and we're all going to go to the club and we're all going to dance and we're all going to have fun. And then by the time it reached us as kids, all of that club stuff kind of really wasn't a thing anymore. It was just like something that you found in your mom's CDs, or like your mom was cleaning the house and that's what she listened to because that's what she grew up on.
Yep. Fucking
Now they do right, Sheep. They do freestyle in Orchard Beach.
yes.
Yeah, all those people that we named earlier can possibly play currently at the park. They're regular people. People see them at the malls. But yes, it is a dead genre of music.
One of the like biggest names like with the number one singles in Latin freestyle, Noel. He had this song called Silent Morning and it's really good. But he literally lives just in Ridgewood, like right off of Forest Avenue. And you could like catch him walking down the street. It's kind of crazy.
That's sick. I think I want to get into the label a little bit more. How did Death by Sheep come to start? What's the origin story for Death by Sheep as a label?
It's classified.
It's not classified. No, it's not really classified. It's truly almost 10 years worth of like work. It's me getting out of high school and being an artist, deciding to be an artist, and how do I make something new? Nobody buys painting anymore. People buy T-shirts. People buy items. I was really into other artists that were doing very similar stuff, selling zines, selling prints, selling just everyday objects in the name of art. And I knew people could make a living from that. So I also started working in a streetwear label, and I got introduced to a lot of that industrial stuff within, corporate streetwear. So I learned a little bit. I started a label in a way to not start a streetwear brand. Because at that time, everybody was starting a streetwear brand. Everybody had a T-shirt, and I just didn't want to do that because it just seems fake. You know, when people start fake, you know, T-shirt companies, there's not really an idea behind it. I was already involved in music. I had friends doing stuff. Let me release my own friends' music. I have this job that's pretty cool, and I can basically make my friends cool shit and then sell a T-shirt on the side. I have been able to do that for the last couple of years, you know, happily, forever just working on new designs, new art. Stuff is always ever evolving. It is all just kind of made by me, so my emotions are truly effective of what designs come out in what times of the year. I don't know. Is there a follow up question to that? What is DeathBySheep? It's an evolving art project with many people who believe in many similar ideas, like myself.
Yeah. I do have a follow up question. How did the Coin project get wrapped up with DeathBySheep? How did you guys meet and start working together?
Coin and I met at a show.
Hell yeah.
We met at a show. We don't have to say what show. It was just a show. We were just both at, you know, New York City. There's a show every single day. And we were both at this one show at the world's famous Trans Beacon.
Yeah. We were at a show. I was being a little. It's a lot to get into, but I was being a little crazy. I was being a little crazy. I was going a little ham. I was like hurting myself while watching other people play. And she was like, "Yo, you were going hard in there. The fuck? You all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then we just met off of that. We just kept chatting and shit. And I remember the first thing that I ever said that we should do, like me and Sheep, we ended up putting out like a box cutter that just had both of our names on it. And the idea is that we would sell the box cutter to like guys and shit for like $10 a pop, but any woman or trans person, any member of the LGBTQ community would get it for free as a self-defense weapon. Because at the time, especially, there was like a lot of, especially trans women being like beaten and victimized in New York City. I remember there was like specifically one story of this trans woman coming down out of the projects, and this guy just ran up on her with a fucking hammer and bashed her in the back of the head and killed her. And not to say that like a box cutter would protect her, but like maybe if in this situation she had something to protect herself with, things might have turned out differently. So that was like my entire reasoning behind putting out the box cutter.
Yeah, I guess that's really it. It's a response to something that was happening in our current times, and we made something fun. Some people would say it's, you know, I've been criticized for some of the stuff we have released, but some people have never lived the same lives as us. Some people would say it's dangerous that we sell box cutters, but for myself, that I even use my own box cutters, at no point am I ever slashing people. I'm actually just cutting boxes. I'm cutting paper all the time, but it was an object that could be made for that protection. Nobody really wants to ever hurt anyone
or be in those moments of crisis in the first place.
Oh, the box cutter said, "Steal this look."
Yeah, that's right.
For the chances that you could possibly slap someone across the face and steal that look.
Yeah.
All right. That's sick. That's a cool backstory. The whole thing that you were saying earlier about like wanting to start DeathBySheep as a way to not start a clothing brand, I feel like you're completely right. There's so many people who try and start a little streetwear thing, and then they don't have the context behind it to like actually encourage people to want to buy it. I think having the designs actually be for something is such a cool way to go, making clothes and art.
An actual subculture to fall behind, because any other brand, all the cool brands have a subculture behind them. Anyone who's just starting stuff, it's, hey, my name is Michael. Everyone just wear this t-shirt I made. Yep. It's, hey, my name is Sheep, and this is the music that I'm into, and these are my friends. And you live in Boston, and you have no idea what we're doing every single day of the week. Check it out.
It's a posse.
Hell yeah.
It's cool.
You guys use a lot of head shop iconography in the Death by Sheep graphics. How did that aesthetic come to be?
In the same way that if I have a record label, I can kind of only pin myself to only sell tapes, CDs, records, adjacent stuff. But when you start a head shop and not a streetwear label again, you can sell other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can sell screens in a package. I could just sell something to clean a bong with. I could sell you the bong. People that smoke weed,
Yeah.
people that listen to music, sometimes they smoke weed.
Yep. It's true.
It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip. You're in one
Oh,
really
shit.
cool space. You're in a forever space of endless music and enjoyments of novelty items. I'm a hippie, I would say. I'm pretty chill. I'm into some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, Sheep smokes weed, but I think they're the only person like that were. Oh wait, no, Ciela smokes weed too. I was about to say Sheep's the
Yeah.
only one that actually smokes weed. I don't smoke weed. Andrew doesn't smoke weed.
Sometimes I get a little queasy.
What the fuck was
That
that?
sounded crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild.
Sample that.
Word.
That's confidential.
I mean,
That
a
was some
recording.
confidential stuff.
Y'all hear?
Oh my God,
Yeah, my bandmate is actually just AI. My bad. I lied to you this entire time. I put off this interview because I was nervous. Andrew is just an AI bot.
No, we
The
cannot
whole
hear you,
time.
Andrew. Sorry. You're coming through like a robot.
All right.
Coin, I want to know.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Coin, and Andrew, actually, I want to know a little bit. What's the process for making a coin track?
Oh, that I don't know.
Do you come at it from like the perspective of this will be a live performance thing, or are you just trying to make a song and then figure out how to perform it live later?
So at the current moment, since like Andrew's a fairly new addition, I just put them like we just started working together this year. Literally that first show that you saw. Um, I make all the music so far. The idea behind how I go about creating a track is will it fit the narrative of like what I'm trying to convey within this performance. It's all performance centric. Usually I'll just open up Ableton and just kind of fuck around. And if some shit hits, it hits. And I just keep working and I keep working and I keep working. Then finish it up and I'm like, all right, let's see where we want to go with this. Will this work with the thing? There's a lot of tracks that I have that just are not there. Like, and that's why I haven't put out anything. It has to be like all one cohesive thing. It has to all go with each other to fit the narrative of the performance. And if it doesn't fit the narrative of the performance, then I don't want to play it within the coin project. I usually just like cycle it towards like a different project that I maybe want to put out later on in life.
All right. What made you want to make it a performance art based thing as opposed to just releasing music?
Well, from the like power electronics roots, that was mostly a performance aspect thing. That's the thing that I enjoy the most. And also, I feel like the message of the project isn't conveyed properly through recorded material. Like, you can get some level of aggression, you can get some level of rage, you can get some level of emotion, but unless you're seeing it live, unless you're like actually seeing the pain that these things bring me and the pain that this performance brings me to have to actually push it forward, then I think it's kind of like a moot point because the entire ethos of the project is very personal to the average New York native New Yorker experience of like where we're being pushed out and cast aside in favor for a lot of white people who just move here and are able to coexist and live freely and naturally within New York, which is the city that I was born in, the city that Sheep was born in, Andrew was born in, and a lot of other people that I know were born in. And they feel displaced being here, either by not being able to afford rent after having gone to college, or just watching their family have to leave this place or move to somewhere more dangerous for themselves because that is the only place they are able to live. Things like that.
Yeah, you definitely get that rage across in your live performance. You're stomping around, you're getting in the mosh, you're beating people up. The one show that I saw, the immediately, I think first or second track, you came up. I was standing next to previous podcast guest Zacharema, and you just came up and kicked me in the chest, and I was like, "Damn, this is." I don't even see a lot of like hardcore bands who are all about this getting as involved and as angry as you seem in your live performances.
Yeah. I try to like bottle that rage for these specific moments just to let it out within that space. Just because like I feel like it's necessary. The majority of people that end up coming to my shows usually end up being white people that just moved here, and that is the perfect opportunity to channel that rage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that being said though, I don't want to like hurt anyone specifically. I'm not trying to hurt anyone specifically and like truly damage them. It's just I need you to understand this pain and like what it feels like to have to live within this in this social climate of New York and deal with that on a day-to-day basis. Because whereas some people get to move here and they get to like live their lives off of their parents' dime, or they're able to go to college and afford it to an extent and then able to create an entire career off of it, or they even drop out of college and they're still able to do that. They're still able to function out here. There's a lot of people here who have to take alternative means in order to live here, and that's unfair to them because they end up getting incarcerated, or worse, they get shot and killed.
There's a lot more behind it. I didn't know that much about you coming into it. Just like we have some mutual friends, and I like whatever they had mentioned is based, and what I had seen live was what I knew. It's cool to hear how much there is behind the music and behind the performance.
Yeah, it's something I've thought about for years, and with Channel 63, which was like the power electronics harsh noise project, it was a lot more intrusive, and like kind of blaming myself for this outcome and whatnot, and like why I'm here, and a lot of self-hatred. And through the time of COVID and a little bit post-COVID, I started to think differently and start to think of better ways to make change and move forward with that mindset. And I felt like doing the Coin project was probably one of the healthier and better ways to go about that. Albeit it is aggressive and scary or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of feeling is necessary at the moment.
All right. You've done a bit of touring. What are some of your favorite places other than New York to perform?
So Johnson
Atlanta,
City,
Georgia.
Yeah, sure. Nah, not Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I love everybody in Atlanta, but it's just they ain't active like that. But Johnson City, Tennessee is like a cool little spot. Chicago is pretty tight. You get some good shit in LA. It works. Portland was cool. I don't really know too much about Portland now. So many people have moved away. Oh, and Texas. Texas is tight. Texas is tight as fuck.
Hell yeah! You played a show in Worcester, Massachusetts, right?
Yes.
How
I
was
did.
that? Because that's kind of my stomping ground a little bit.
Oh, word. Hey. It was cool. I wish the sound was a little bit better, but honestly, you know what? Thinking back on it, that's probably my fault. I I did not mix anything properly. My ears are so shot that mixing is like impossible. Um, but overall, the show was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. I don't know.
Do you remember what venue that was? It was a house venue, right?
Sort of. It was like an old firehouse.
Okay, it was at Firehouse. I was trying to remember if you did it at Distant Castle or Firehouse. Yeah,
Oh,
Firehouse
okay, sort of.
is a cool venue. That place has a lot of really interesting history. It's also been around since like the 80s.
Yeah, they were telling me a little bit. They were telling me a little bit about that when I was there.
Mass has they have really cool venues, really cool spots and stuff. They got some really cool venues over there. Like I did a show one time in a zoo.
Oh shit! What? You did a show in a zoo?
Yeah, out there.
Yeah, in Massachusetts, Andrew did a show in a zoo with what was it, Fear.com and Kevo and Replicator?
Kevo and Replicator
Yeah.
also past guests on the podcast. Shout out those guys.
Oh shit, really? That's
Yeah, the last episode was with Replicator, and I did Kevo a little while ago.
nice. I've never met Replicator, but they seem nice. Kevo's the shit. I fuck with Kevo.
Yeah, good people.
Yes.
Shit, I was gonna say something else. I think I was just gonna say that, like, yeah, Massachusetts has some cool venues, a lot of good music history. But I'm sure you guys like feel the same thing in New York. It's kind of happening everywhere. Where like it feels like the amount of cool venues is smaller and smaller as time goes on.
Yeah, 100%. The state of DIY in New York is like fucking done. It's kind of tragic. I miss DIY venues. Um, Most of the places that we have that would be even approachable are usually like 21 plus, which is chill, but that usually means it's a bar, which means you get the bar attitude, which is kind of annoying. I don't know. I think we need more DIY spaces right now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when like Boston's a big city, but it's pretty quick to get out of it. Like you can get to houses pretty fast. All the outer neighborhoods like kind of look like the suburbs.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more room for house venues. I feel like it's hard to find just the basement of someone's house to perform in New York City.
Yeah, 100%.
We did in Syracuse. That one was really cool too.
Oh, you're talking about the show in Syracuse?
Coin.
You sounded like a robot,
Syracuse
man.
is pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah, we played a house show in Syracuse that this kid named Clayton put together, who I didn't realize that I guess had known me from the Channel 63 days until like I met the kid. But yeah, it was pretty tight. It wasn't like too many people there, but it seemed like the 40 people who might be interested in anything that happens there that's alternative popped up there. And the same thing happened in Johnson City. It's kind of cool. I like playing small places like that.
We're getting pretty close to the hour mark. Do you guys have anybody that you want to shout out or talk about that's helped you along your musical journeys?
Yeah, for sure. The easy ones would be like Dream Crusher, Machine Girl, Deli Girls, fucking Girl Pusher. Y'all should listen to them if you haven't for some reason. Aside from that, big up Zacharama, Domino, fucking
Hell yeah.
Televangelist, fucking
The homies.
Yeah, Faraday Ribcage, 100%. Fucking what else was I gonna say? Helltech, United Drum Front, big up all them fools. Helltech also fucking OG New York native people that should definitely have more of a voice, and they should continue to have more of a voice in New York.
Coin said
Yeah,
Coin just named everyone.
Yeah,
Hey, shout
Coin
out
just
to
named
the-
everybody.
Shout out to the
Shout out to the
Transpeaker
label.
staff.
The Pico
Shout out
staff?
to
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
the locals.
Akafe.
Shout out to the
My
locals.
bad. I'll big up Akafe too. Even though they're
Keep it
not
on the
from here, it's all
label.
right. It's all right.
If you
Still,
did
still
something on the
love
label,
Akafe.
shout out.
Yeah, everybody on the label, shout out.
See,
If you know,
shout
if you
out
know
to the
me,
label.
shout out to you.
All right.
How you
Exactly.
doing?
How you doing?
Shout out to Carmelo, our investor, our big investor, Carmelo Anthony. We're doing great. 2025. It's gonna be amazing. Thank you, Carmelo.
Yep.
2026
25.
about to
That's
be
the
a
hoodie
movie.
season.
And you got
Viral.
anything to? Oh wait.
Tony Tour movie coming out soon.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
I was about to
that.
say, do you have anything to plug?
Movie.
Oh,
We got a movie.
yeah.
It's gonna
We
be
got a
amazing.
movie. We got some tapes
Kenan
coming out
Thompson's in it.
soon. Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, he makes a cameo in the
Oh
movie.
shit, that's
It's gonna be a
crazy.
lit movie.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we got some tapes and stuff also coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. Could be fun.
Yep,
Some like jump style, Gabbery stuff, some breaky stuff. Also
Definitely
shout
some
out
more jungle stuff.
crew.
I got some
Yeah,
stuff in the works, some new mixes.
got that
Let's plug the
reggaeton
Lost
mix
tape.
coming out soon. Yo, word, plug the
Shout
Lost
out to the
tape.
Lost
Listen
tape.
to the Lost tape.
And we don't know where it is.
91X. Yeah, they lost it, so you got to find it yourself.
Look it up. Lost tape.
91X.
Hell yeah. All right. It's been good talking to you. This has been a great episode. For all you listeners back at home, make sure to check out all the other content here on the Bughead YouTube page. Go to bughead.org to see everything we're up to. I got a little link congregation there that you can find shit at. And have a nice night. Hell yeah.
Likewise.